In my last video, I showed you 4 basic types of lines used in technical drawings: object lines, hidden lines, center lines, and construction lines. In this video, I'll show you a few more types of lines that you should know about to create professional quality technical drawings. Sometimes it's useful to break away part of an object so we can see what's underneath. When we do this, we need to indicate which part of the material has been cut using section lines. Section lines are bold, parallel lines that are drawn at an angle on the surface that's been cut to reveal the inside of the part. These lines should appear only on the cut surface and should not be drawn parallel or perpendicular to any of the object lines that make up the edges of the surface. There are 2 ways to create a section view, and they both use their own new types of lines. The easiest way is to create a short break. In this technique, a jagged line shows where the surface of the object has been torn away to reveal the details underneath. This short break line shows us where the section area begins, and the section lines indicate the material that has been torn by the short break. The other way to create a section view is to slice through the object in one view and to show the cutaway section in a second view. To do this, we need a cutting plane line to show where the part has been sliced to make the section view. A cutting plane line is the boldest line on the page and uses a double dash pattern. On the end of the cutting plane line are arrows that show the reader what direction the section view will be looking towards, and usually a pair of letters that correspond to the section view in case there are more than one cutting plane line and section view on the drawing. In this case, we will see the entire part in the section view with the front material removed as shown by the cutting plane line. The entire cut surface is indicated by section lines. If the part being drawn is very long and has no special details along its length that need to be shown, the drafter might shorten the object to fit onto the drawing page using a long break line. This line is used to cut out a section of the part where the cross-sectional details are the same, and the length of the part would make it too long to fit on the page. Both ends and any important details can still be dimensioned, and the reader knows that the missing portion is the same as the parts that are shown. When it's time to dimension the drawing, there are a few new types of lines that we need to know about. Normal linear dimensions use straight lines with dark arrowheads called dimension lines. These lines typically point outward from the dimension, toward the extension lines. Extension lines are used to extend the edge of the object that needs dimensioning so that the dimension line can reference it without touching the object. Extension lines should be separated from the object lines by a small space, and the ends of the arrowheads on the dimension lines should just touch the extension lines they refer to. If multiple dimensions refer to the same edge of the object, then both dimension lines will refer to the same extension line. Both dimension lines and extension lines should be a little lighter than the object lines and should be drawn using a straight edge. There are lots more guidelines needed to fully dimension a drawing view, and for that, check out my video, Dimensioning Basics. Some types of dimensions don't use regular dimension and extension lines. You might see whole notes or radii dimensioned using a leader line. Leader lines are similar to dimension lines, but they extend from the dimension all the way to the object edge that they refer to. The arrowhead touches the line exactly and points in the direction of the hole or arc center. Try to avoid drawing leader lines vertically, horizontally, or passing through a corner of the drawing view. Occasionally, different types of lines will overlap on a drawing view. When this happens, one of the lines takes precedence or comes to the front of the view, and the other line falls behind and may not be seen. For example, if an object line falls in the same location as a hidden line or a center line, the object line takes precedence, and the other line is not seen. Hidden lines will take precedence over center lines if the two should overlap, and cutting plane lines would take precedence over all other types of lines. Now you should have a much better understanding of the different types of lines used in technical drawings. Keep it up and you'll be reading and drawing like a pro.